Look at all that money, yeah, the money that they've spent. Take another look and take some time for hemp. Don't cut trees for paper, cause it hurts the environment. Stop deforestation, yeah, it's time for hemp.
Yes, it is. It is time for hemp. It's time for taking time for hemp great again. Thank you for tuning in to the big broadcast. And I want to thank you for sharing us with your friends. That is how we are found. And if you get a chance, please hit the like and subscribe button below on your browsers. That way people know that we are drawing good attention, and it makes it easier for us to make new broadcasts and let the whole world know how important it is to take time for hemp. A big thank you to Citizen Green TV for allowing us to reach a larger audience with this message. Time for Hemp is focused on educating about this amazing plant called hemp. And if you go to timeforhemp.news, you find all kinds of free downloads, video downloads, audio downloads, even free cannabis music, all about how wonderful hemp is. So do make it a point to visit timeforhemp.news. And also, anytime you hear the word joint on the big broadcast, please make it a point to hit your pipes, your bongs, your vaporizers, and join us as we take time for hemp. Speaking of joints, I have two great joint hosts that I want to bring to your attention. The first has written a groovy book all about the cannabis hemp movement, and his name is Al Byrne. And I want to say thank you, Al Byrne, for being a joint host on Time for Hemp.
Well, as always, I'm glad to be here. And our mission here at Time for Hemp is to be educators. And that book there for Country and Cannabis, I wrote it. It's been out about a year and a half now. And it's full of education. It's full of information, not only about cannabis as a medicine, but how we got here in the United States over the last 40 years.
And they can find it where?
Everywhere. Apple books, Amazon books, thrift books. It's a book like Casper held up there. It's that's 360 pages. It's a real book, but it's also an ebook if you're into ebooks available. All right, so now what we got tonight is we're talking about hemp, and we're talking about how to make really cool stuff out of hemp. But before we get there, we got to go to my co-host, Al Graham.
Joint host.
I keep screwing that up, don't I? I screw that up all the time. Yeah.
That's right, because as Casper says, we want our viewers to be token. So every time we say joint.
I'll get it one of these days, guys. I will.
Right,
I'll try better.
So our joint host, Al Graham, tell them about Pace Radio Network.
All right, the Pace Network, it can be found at paceradio.net. We cover cannabis as well as psychedelics. We have new programming that is released every day of the week. We have a show that is released for people to watch. Saturdays is one of the best because you get to watch back-to-back cannabis and psychedelics programming for hours on end without a break in between.
Oh, man, I tell you, it's very informative. I want to thank you for being a joint host on today's big joint broadcast. And we've got a joint guest here named Harry Hemp. And I met Harry at the Texas Hemp Stock, and it has been a pleasure to make a new friend with Harry. And Harry, why don't you say hello and let our guests know how it is that we can start building a whole new world using hemp.
Well, joint guest, it's very nice to see everyone and be joined by this evening. Yes, I am Harry Hemp. I'm a hemp builder. That's what really got me into the industrial hemp industry. I've learned about it a little over 10 years now, and it's really become my obsession of figuring out where it all came from and why we're not using it. And then, now I am using it and the best ways to use it. I see it as a perfect bridge for conventional construction and natural construction. And I'm here to, pretty much convince the contractors and builders of today that this is the superior product. And, not only does it perform better as a house. It's going to be cheaper and last longer, and save all around. It saves our environment from pulling in the carbon out of the air as a plant, and as it does that, it heals the soil by remediation of it, and then we chop it up, pretty much send it through a fancy wood chipper, and I build with it. So it's my first step really into the industrial hemp industry, because this is what I know what to do. And, it intrigues me about the fiber with the clothing industry, the fuel with the biographene making hemp batteries. Like, that just is very interesting. So, like, energy has been pretty much, wars have been fought over it. And, the more I learn about hemp as well, like the War 1812, like that was really due over hemp. The British Navy was so strong because of hemp sails and these ropes. So like the more and more I learn about it, the more I learn how it's been woven into human history. So
and you're weaving it into the community now. I think, unless I'm mistaken, you've got a house that you're working on, or you've already built a couple of houses with it.
Yeah, so I've been traveling a little over 3 years now on the road from California I'm originally from New York, and that was one of my first hemp homes that I got to work on in Pennsylvania. And I was a general contractor, and I met Cameron McIntosh, who sprayed that house with the E-Reezy, and pretty much cleared my schedule and went full force into the industrial hemp game. Traveled to San Antonio, Texas to help work on their first permanent hemp home. And then I met the guy Lucas Evans of E3 Agriculture, who I'm now at right now. I'm in Texas, but I've traveled from California and back multiple times already, and has built in California, Colorado, Texas, Florida, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, I've been able to travel with me and my dog Althea to other people's builds and projects, see what's going on, how the best ways to install hempcrete is, and here I am. We are setting up our block facility. One of the biggest cost and carbon emitters is travel and the shipping. So that's why we've partnered up with Lucas, the processor. So the hemp is right here on site. Right behind me is our block facility that pretty much is very primal to shipping containers. And then I just have a shade cloth right now. It's very grassroots and, bootstrapping what we're doing. And, it just needs to be done. And through my training I was a mechanic in the Air Force, and now I'm here working with the equipment, the processing equipment. I was also a mechanic when I got out first as well. So it's really bringing all my skills that I've learned together, like in my, working life, which I've always been manual labor, and I've grew up on the job site. Technically would be considered a third generational builder. And yeah, it's like the oh shit moment of like, why are we not using this? And if it's so much better and it performs so much better, why don't we know about this? So I'm very vocal about what I do. I love to share what I'm learning as I'm learning it, so other people could learn and really get on the hemp train, because we all know it's been woven into civilization. It was one of our first technologies, and it's been suppressed for 100 years for fascist lawmakers and corruption. And now we're in the age of education and communication. So like what we're on right now, we're talking in real time, and I could be working on something and showing you exactly what I'm doing, so you could be doing it as well. And that's what we really just need. We need more people to understand that these products are out there, that they understand that the materials that they're used to build your homes today are petrochemical bullshit, and they're making us sick. Like everyone is getting sick. It's not like, you're dying of old age anymore. It's just, oh, what type of cancer are you getting? And it's, no one's asking why. And, they poison our food, and they poison the medicine that cures us from that food. And it's all in our houses as well. So it's a natural movement to really be as healthy as we should be. And
let me ask you just a couple of questions. You've covered so much ground.
You sure
Really
has.
cool. Yeah.
First of all, talk a lot.
Yeah, really.
All right.
Talk show. It's a talk show.
Something happened at some point in time, didn't it? Anyway, I want to point out that Harry is a veteran of the Air Force, and this program honors people that have served. I served in the Navy. Casper was in the Army, and now we have Harry, an Air Force vet. And that probably, because he's an Air Force vet, it probably explains some of his adjectives and adverbs, So I'll just center on one if I can, Harry. I know the Air Force is always, hey, we're this and we're the best and we're the, and
Well,
you guys live in tents and I got air conditioning. And you guys live off of tin cans that you eat out of, and I get tables with linen on them, and we know that. All right. So why is this is your word? Why is hemp a superior product?
Well, number one, it's fire resistant, mold resistant, insect resistant, flood resistant, and it's a thermal mass building as a monolithic build. So, we're all taught about the R values, and comparing. I got a block right here, which this is what we're making Adobe style, which this is going to eliminate framing completely, which is going to be massive and will be cheaper than conventional. But hempcrete has all the benefits it has but by the time you put it in the ground, it's starting to pull heavy metals and remediate the soil. They planted hemp in Chernobyl to clean the radiation, and it's a photo remediator of the soil. So as it's doing that, it's also pulling in 15 to 20 tons of carbon per acre, and it's locking it in. Like our buddy Wade grew 35-foot hemp plants. So there's a major difference. And obviously everyone hears hemp and automatically goes to marijuana, which, we've been taught like that. The Reefer Madness campaign worked wonders. I didn't learn about any of this in school. So I like to make a clear, statement saying I'm in the industrial hemp industry. And don't get me wrong, I'm a huge cannabis supporter. Cannabis has helped save my life, and I owe it a lot. And I do say, I'm big libertarian, so I think it all should be legal, but industrial hemp is grown to more like a hay and straw, so it's very tight, close together. So we're trying to grow as much biomass in that field as we can. So planting it 1 inch by 1 inch is going to get you the most amount of biomass, and it makes the most biomass per acre than any other plant on this planet, and it's nature's strongest fiber. So mixing that with lime, which is the 5th most abundant material we have on this planet, we create, we're mimicking the Roman concrete, which is what the Romans built with in Rome, and obviously that's still standing. And we're mimicking that with a lime base with metacalins, pumices, which is the volcanic ash. Metakaolin is a fired clay that's all local to that the region of Rome. So we've made recipes and have now a recipe that is strong enough to withstand its own weight and structure. So our plan is to move forward to eliminate the framing completely. As of right now, we still do build, semi-normal, but you could do advanced framing, post and beam, and you could do a metal. I'm in a metal building right now, and just fill all that in with these blocks. And building here in Texas is a lot less. It's a lot less restricted. From building in California or Florida. So this is really good place to show this off. So pretty much we stack these blocks around, mimicking what Adobe blocks do, and then either do a top plate with concrete or wood, and then we still need roof trusses to frame. But there's not enough trees on this planet to build everyone a house, and it could be from seed to shelter all within 6 months. That's growing the hemp, chopping it down, processing it into a block, and installing that block on a house. And now that carbon is now sequestered for the lifetime of that house. And as I said before, Rome is still standing, and these units will, if they flood, they're going to dry out and be stronger than they were before. The walls will absorb water, and the free lime would be reactivated and pretty much making it stronger. So I did a lot of mold remediation in my early 20s and basements in Pennsylvania where it would flood and you'd go cut sheetrock out all the time and it wicks up. And so it's just, we take our whole life to make this one purchase, which is buying a house, which is arguably the biggest purchase of our lives. And with these 30-year mortgages today, these houses that they're building, they're not going to fucking last 30 years. They're going to have to spend $1,000 to, if not thousands of dollars repairing and fixing it. So it's just, to me, there's no such thing as affordable housing anymore. I am 32 right now, and growing up on Long Island, granted, there's not really space to build new houses, and it's an expensive place to purchase. But housing is all across America. 1.6 million homes are being built a year, and some of them are now they're literally made out of cardboard, where they're just putting cardboard up and then finishing with vinyl siding and insulating it and sheetrocking, and it's just we heard the story of the big bad wolf, the huffing and puffing and blowing these houses down. How many more natural disasters need to happen, and how many people's lives have to be lost for us to realize that it might be our buildings. It is our buildings. We are getting sick from our buildings, and our buildings now aren't lasting as long, and now we're tied to this debt for the rest of our lives. And it's just cruel. It's not, I don't want to have a pity party, but it's not fair. It's how can my generation come up at all? And
well, wait a minute. What's the cost?
You guys caused it. No.
Yeah, it's all our fault. All us ugly white guys. All the old geezers.
We are guys, yeah.
We set up this system and it sucks. I know. All right, wait a minute, Harry Hemp. What is the cost differential between me putting up a standard stick house and your house?
So, if I was building the standard stick and a hemp home, the hemp home is actually going to be 30% cheaper with materials, because it's cheaper than dirt, because it is dirt. We use Adobe floors, we use the hemp and lime, and then we finish the insides with clay and the exterior with more lime. And the labor is more intensive as of right now, so it pretty much equals out. Building brand new across the states, it ranges from one of the biggest, what we're going up against is the mobile homes. The mobile homes you could really get for $85 to $100 a square foot built, and that's manufactured, pre-manufactured, which we are moving towards. Japan does it, Europe's moving towards it, and it is growing. But we definitely need more hemp homes, and custom hemp homes will never not be in. But we do compete with conventional building as of now. Like I say, builder's grade, which is just 4 walls and then, interior walls. But, as soon as you start adding bump outs and extra walls, 8, 10 wall side houses, and, we build as the builder, not as an architect, that, oh, I want this fancy thing. I want this, I want that. Like, so with our style builds, it starts at $200 a square foot when that's from the ground up. And what makes us be able to compete like that is because we're eliminating so many of the subcontractors, because the hemp is our wall. And so what that means is we don't need an insulator. We don't need the sheetrockers. We don't need the painters, the mudders. We don't need the exterior siding. We don't need the vapor barriers, because we're eliminating all that. And all those materials I just named, they're all petrol-based materials for the most part. And we are just messing with some insulation now. And it is a hemp-based insulation. It's not ready for market yet, but it's still hemp-based, and it's a bat insulation where you don't have, like, you obviously should wear a mask for the cellulosis of the lungs, but it's not itchy. Like, you could roll around. The dogs love it as a bed. But now we're mainly focused on these hemp blocks, which again, they're grown right here. They are made right here, and ideally they're going to be used to build right here, which truly is a circular economy. Which this
Okay, but wait a minute.
I
think I know the answer to this question, but I want to ask it.
Yeah.
Is it fireproof?
Mm-hmm.
And Al,
absolutely. So you could, I mean, one of the biggest videos on YouTube is just like a propane torch just on this, like, for ever. I posted a video out, and there's no heat with a 1-inch panel. So we named our company after the Romans. Our material supply company, Roman Empire Building Supply, is who's making these blocks. And then hemphomes.com is where the builders, so suppliers and builders. And you always hear about mechanics complaining about the cars. Oh, why are they putting the starter here? I can't reach the alternator. And it's just like, now it's just picture the mechanics and the engineers designing the same car, like, for ease of use. And that's what really I've been focusing on, to make this too easy to build. Like, if you think about it, as kids, we start by stacking blocks, and every single country on this planet has a mason stacking something, rocks, blocks, or bricks. And we just have to show them this new material. We have to show them how to do it themselves, so we truly can have affordable housing. We don't have to import wood from Canada. We don't have to import, obviously marbles and stuff will come from Europe, but it's truly a way we could give back to the farmers, because industrial hemp has been added to the farmers' lexicon in how many, since soy, like, and soy was all this big woohoo, but I know they wanted to do.
I need to jump in here. We're down to the last few minutes of the show, and I know Al Graham's still got a question, and then we'll have to wrap it up.
Yeah,
all right.
I've heard about the benefits with it, as far as the moisture, humidity controlling, air's going in and through it, and all that stuff, mold resistant. What I was wondering was, structurally, when it comes to the nasty weather that does happen in the U.S. and it's happening here more in Canada with the hurricanes and stuff like that.
Yeah. So what this block we're mimicking, we haven't done the test yet, but it should be category 3 rated once we have those tests. These tests are thousands of dollars. So, again, we're a very startup, and we don't have that funds right now, but that is the goal. We should be Cat 3. And what makes it is it's a monolithic build. So instead of having all those different pieces that, if you don't put a nail in properly, or say you straight up miss a full stud, I'm sure you guys seen nails go down the line and be like, oh, well, if they would have shot it 1 inch to the right or 1 inch to the left, they would have got all of them, but they didn't. So again, it's shitty work and shitty materials. And, I don't want to downplay anyone, but it's because we don't know and we don't have the other options of
Right.
natural materials. But the way it's built monolithically gives it a superior strength because it is one. And
Right. Well, we
Yeah.
gotta cut it here. We gotta cut it here so we can say good night and goodbye. Let everybody know about your website, Harry.
Okay, yes. Hemphomes.com is where you could go check out what hempcrete is. Find me on the social medias at Harry Hemp 3, the number 3. And then every Sunday, I host a natural build guild with our friend Milan. And we come together with other natural builders around the world, and we share what we're doing. I pretty much give a breakdown of what my week was, and we share the failures, successes, and ideas. And we're building our community and our armies. So like this is our tribe kind of thing. So
you'll be showing up weekly, and not weekly, but you'll be showing up about once a month on Time for Hemp as well, right?
Yes. Well, hopefully, maybe we could do some time weekly. I'm thrilled to be here with you fellas in this joint venture. And well, I'll be sharing what's going on in the Natural Build Guild. Hopefully, in
All right.
Weekly with here.
Groovy. And Al Graham, you got a joint program up there, and our joint borders.
Yes, yeah, Pace Radio Network or Pace Network, because we're done in both video as well as audio, and we cover psychedelics as well as cannabis. And as the name says, we are people advocating cannabis education. PaceRadio.net.
And a very quick shout out about your joint work here in your book, Al Byrne.
Byrne. Yeah, it's a great book. So buy it.
All right. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the big broadcast. Because of you, we're able to get this message out to more ears. And if you like what we're doing, please visit us a lot and share us with your friends, and let everybody around you know how important it is to take time for hemp.
Look at all that money, yeah, the money that they've spent. Take another look and take some time for hemp. Don't cut trees for paper, cause it hurts the environment. Stop deforestation, yeah, it's time for hemp. Well, an acre of hemp makes 20 barrels of oil. No need for pesticides to poison all our soil. People got no food, they got no clothes, they got no rent. Well, it's time for hemp. Throughout Earth's history, hemp has been used, no mystery. Hemp was legal to pay your taxes for more than a century. Check your faxes. The founding fathers make sense to me. It's time to grow hemp legally. Think of all its uses. It's money that's well spent. Right now, no excuses. It's time for hemp. Sustainable green industry, that's our intent. A better place this world will be. It's time for hemp. Fuel and food and clothes and soap, housing, cars, yeah, cars, no joke. Henry Ford built a car of hemp. It's time for us to do it again. People be employed with balanced farming as it's meant. Right now, it's time for hemp. Hemp is a true necessity for the wealth and protection of this country. These are words of Jefferson Thomas. He grew hemp, why not us? It's time to lift the hemp band. It's time to lift the hemp band. yet we can. I know we can make a difference. Yes, we can. Yes, I know we can. And we can work together and lift the hemp band. Look at all that money, yeah, the money that they've spent. Take another look and take some time for hemp. Don't cut trees for paper, cause it hurts the environment. Stop deforestation, yeah, it's time for hemp.